Yo, 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 it's your boy, Big Mike Raider, and we're here for day 3 of Big Mike's Big 30, trucking along with season 4, where today we're going to be talking about Texas Tech's very own Lee Hunter, big one technique, zero technique, true nose tackle, big thick boy in the middle. Pause if necessary, is what it is. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about what he brings to the table and how he fits with the Raiders. You guys know the drill at this point. Before we get into anything, I need for you guys to like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks, meaning hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. So let's jump into it. Lee Hunter from Texas Tech, big boy, right? From, like I said, from Texas Tech, true nose tackle, PFF ranked overall at 39. He is projected to be an early second round to mid-second round guy. And, you know, let's look into his numbers a little bit. 6'4", 330 pounds, almost 24 years old. By the time the season starts, he'll be 24 years old. Nice young guy, reliable, hasn't really missed any games, has over 1,600 snaps played in his college career. So he's reliable, and he has a resume, right? That's what you're looking for. In 2025, he had an 80.9 PFF grade, which ranked 38th out of all defensive tackles or defensive linemen, interior and outside, out of 913, ranked 38th. Number 5 as far as interior defensive line, as far as that those scores go. So impressive numbers, right? In 523 snaps, right? In 2024, a 72.1 PFF grade, 218th out of 894 on that upper echelon of that bell-shaped curve, right? 37th out of all defensive linemen in that year, 2024, with 522 snaps. And in 2023, 577 snaps, 74 overall PFF grade, which ranked 155th out of 889. So sustained success is what you're looking for, and this guy has it. Checks all those things off the box. Let's talk a little bit about his strengths and weaknesses, some things that he brings to the table. So we already talked about his physical profile, 6'4", 320 pounds, 330 pounds, wingspan of 6'9", long wingspan. You know, he's going to be the first. If he gets the first hands on you, if you're an offensive lineman and he gets that extension, you have no chance at that point. And that's what we're looking for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's built like a true NFL nose tackle, combining mass with surprising short area quickness and leverage. You don't want to get into a fight with them if you're in a phone booth, right? In those close area spaces when you're, you know, in the trenches, guards, centers, right? He's one of those guys that's 90% of the time going to win a fight in that situation, right? Why does he fit with the Raiders, right? That's the main thing we really concerned about as Raider fans, Raider Nation, right? Well, first things first, immediate run defense upgrade. One game that really sticks out to me is in that college football playoff against Oregon. He broke a CFP record with, I think it was 6 tackles for loss in one game. This dude had an excellent game as far as stopping the run, right? And here's the truth of the matter, right? We've struggled at times with interior run defense. So, or if we haven't, it's been the Maxx Crosby show for the most part. So Maxx Crosby is going to need that guy in the interior to kind of match his levels of stopping the run, right? Hunter brings elite gap control, ability to absorb double teams, and strong block shedding ability. Everything that you would need from a true excellent nose tackle in this league. He ranked among the top 4 in the Power 4, the top Power 4 interior defenders in the run game metrics, and produced 23 run stops in 2025, showing real impact. So a guy who's committing to stop the run. That's what we're looking for, right? In today's game, that is almost bread and butter, right? If you stop the run, in turn, you can stop the pass. The play action is not as effective. So, you know, it starts with the run and stopping the run, putting you in obvious third and long situations where you have to pass. Maxx Crosby and company, who are true pass rushers, can pin their ears back and get after that quarterback with no hesitation, right? This is exactly the type of player who helps fix early down defenses. That's what you want to see, right? Second, he's a true nose tackle, anchor presence. You already know under Robbie Leonard, we're going to a 3-4 defense. So what does that mean? Linebackers need to be studs. Check that off the box. We handled that in the offseason with the Kobe Dean and Quay Walker. We already got those guys and the youngsters that we do have as far as depth pieces. I look to see to add another piece or two in the draft at the linebacker position. I digress, but we do need in that situation also a true nose tackle who can stop the run, take on two gaps, and be that dominant presence in the middle, right? And he's a classic one tech / nose tackle, something the Raiders have lacked consistency at over the years, right? The last decent one that we've had, I would say, honestly, Jenkins, right? Our big guy that we had a couple years ago, older guy towards the back end of his career. He stopped the run pretty effectively, but he was an older guy. We didn't get the best of him, but he was serviceable at that position at that time. With a guy like Lee Hunter, he could be, with the right coaching in the right scenario, he could be one of the top nose tackles in this league if you're giving him the right situation, the right scenario, right tools to help him succeed, right? He excels at clogging interior gaps, forcing cutbacks, which is good for the linebackers, and freeing linebackers to make plays, right? A linebacker, their best friend is a true nose tackle because he's going to take up two gaps, and all the linebackers have to do is clean it up, right? They're going to get the stats, they're going to get the tackles, they're going to get the notoriety. But when you really look at the film, a true guy or person who goes in and really has eyes for film is going to tell you, hey, this is the reason why this happened, because our nose tackle handled business and took on a gap and let the linebackers clean it up at the end, right? He's kind of a dirty work player, right? Speaking of that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet, but it's critical defensive success. So, it's going to start with a guy like him. I think he fits the role perfectly with what we're trying to do in Las Vegas, right? Physicality and trench control. That's exactly what you want from a guy like Lee Hunter. He brings that to the table. Hunter plays with heavy hands. He's 330 pounds, long arms, but heavy hands at the same time. Strong punch at contact. He gets into your chest. It's a wrap, right? In most cases. And we'll show a little bit of film on what he brings to the table shortly, right? Excellent play strength. Play strong, right? That's what you're looking for a guy like Lee Hunter. Once he locks under blockers, he's extremely difficult to move and can collapse the pocket with power. Checks all the boxes, right? Elite run defender. That's another thing that we've been talking about. Stacks and sheds effectively. So he's going to stack you, and then he's going to watch to see what's going on in the backfield, and he's going to shed you off. He's not going to be playing patty cake with the guy in front of him. He's trying to get out the way and make a play, right? Controls double teams. He's going to take on the double team and kind of be that gap filler so the linebackers can clean up the mess, right? Fills gaps consistently. Hey, self-explanatory right there. He's a definition of a run-stuffing anchor, right? Not a guy that's going to be a three-down guy, of course, but hey, you add a guy like that to the table, he's going to stop the run, and we're going to have one of the best run-stopping cores in the NFL with a guy like Lee Hunter. And hey, the Raiders feel the same way. They met with the guy before the combine, the Raiders brass, GM, Tom Brady, all those guys. They met with Lee Hunter before the combine, so they seem to like him. And that's the vision they have for the Raiders and for him moving forward if they do pick him in the second round at 36 overall, right? Power and leverage. He's very strong. He has a low pad level for a guy that tall, 6'4", natural leverage, and a strong lower body, right? Bottom heavy type of guy, right? That's what you want to see. Strong, big legs that can move and acts as an anchor in a situation where he can't necessarily make a play, just kind of clogging up the middle, right? That's what you want to see. First step burst for size for a guy at 320, 330 pounds. He shows a quick get off, ability to penetrate gaps, and backfield disruption. It flashes, right? It pops on film when you see it. That combination makes him more than just a space eater, right? And hey, the high football IQ is what we like. Over 1,800 snaps. He was in multiple programs, started at Auburn, went to UCF, then went to Texas Tech. So this guy kind of has an IQ of what to do on defense, right? He's been in multiple programs. He knows what it takes to kind of learn fast and adjust, right? And he's also developing to a full-time starter, right? Not expecting him to do that right off the jump as a second-round pick, but when he comes in, let those snaps be very effective when he's in there and really make an impact in the game defensively. He brings experience and maturity to an NFL defensive front, 24 years old, without injuries as well. That's what you want to see, right? So those are some of the strengths. Got to talk about the weaknesses, right? Limited pass rush ceiling. So not a guy that's going to light up the stat sheet with a bunch of sacks, right, at the nose tackle position. Big deal, right? Okay. Everybody has a role in today's league, right? Hunter is not a natural pass rusher. He lacks advanced pass rush moves, wins mostly with power and a limited sack production. But he's a guy that's going to knock you backwards in most cases with a severe bull rush, right? And stopping the run, well, you're good for first and second downs, third downs. Go ahead and take a breath, young man, and let the pass rushers finish it out and get the offense on the field, man. I'm okay with it. Average top-end athleticism, not the most athletic guy in the world at 330 pounds. He lacks an elite burst. He's going to have to work on the get off a little bit, right? But I think with some training and kind of working at the craft, I think he can get it done and get a little bit quicker, right? He's not a twitchy interior penetrator, right? He's more of a power-based player than an explosive one, and that's fine, right? Everybody has a role. I think he fits the role perfectly with what we need in the middle at this moment, right? Role specific player. So he's not going to be that 3 down, every down guy, right? But in today's NFL, at that position, most cases, that guy isn't going to be an every down guy, right? That's just how it goes in most cases. Early down defender, rotational interior player, or a scheme specific starter. He may not be a high snap count, but all situations D-tackle early in his career, but over the years, he may develop into that guy, right? Development is going to be important for a guy like Lee Hunter, but he brings a high floor to the table right off the jump, right? I think he can come in and be that run clogger right from the beginning, right? So how would he fit in summation for the Raiders, right? Immediate improvement in the run defense, right? Which we need. Interior stability on early downs, check off the box. A player who frees up edge rushers like Maxx Crosby in situations, right? I like it. I think it fits perfectly. I think we can get him in the second round. He's a early to mid round projection. I think 36 would be the sweet spot. I like it. And an NFL player comparison, kind of as far as a run stuffing anchor, look up DJ Reader, kind of a guy that he kind of resembles a little bit. And Dexter Lawrence, a lighter version stylistically, but, you know, shows flashes of that Dexter Lawrence when he's out there on the field, right? But let me know what you think about Lee Hunter, man. That's a little bit of the pros and cons. Let's get into some of the film that I want to show you guys, and then you guys can let me know what you think. All right, so let's jump into the film breakdown. Before we do that, I got to give credit where credit's due. This is from Steve Letizia at CFC Bears on X. With the film. Thank you for letting me borrow it. I appreciate it. Hopefully you don't get upset about it. But, you know, when we're looking and doing the research, I'm going through everywhere to try to find things. And I don't have the insider resources yet at this point to be like, all right, hey, I can film, get my own film and break it down. So, hey, shout out to you for letting me borrow this one. If you don't mind, I appreciate it, man. Shout out to you at CFC Bears. So here we go. We're looking at Lee Hunter, number 2 right here. He's going to be 2-eye, almost one technique right here on the right-hand side of the screen. You're going to see what's going on. Let's let it ride. I'm not going to stop it. We're just going to let it ride. Let's get it going right there. You circle right there. Nice swim move. And there you go. Stopping the run. A run stifler right there. Explosive movement. There you go. You have him in the one technique. Sheds the center right there and just folds that running back right there. Now he's in the zero tech, just blowing past the guard right there. Just a complete disruptor in the run game. Now you have him on the outside right there in a 3 technique. And now you have him head on against Oregon, who was an absolute disruptor with stopping the run. And there you go, making another tackle, Lee Hunter right there. Just quick and noble, a dancing bear. That's what you want to see. Now head on against, I believe this is Georgia Tech, it looks like. I don't know. I could be wrong right there. But there you go, making a stop right there. And that's what you want to see. Another zero tech situation right here. blows right past the guard against, it looks like, Oregon State right here. Now he's on playing the 3-tech right there when he was with UCF and getting the job done. Back to Texas Tech. There you go. Dancing bear again, getting around the guard on the outside shade of him and making the sack right there. There you go. Nice club and rip right there. Could have finished it right there, but hey, he's right there to make the play and just absolutely abusing the center right there. Took too late, lost his helmet in the process, and still in the battle right there. Oh, man, using that long length to really get after him. But there's some inconsistencies, right? Versus the double team, he kind of got caught in the wash right there, getting washed a little bit, and that's the name of the game sometimes. You win some, you lose some, but that's what you get from Lee Hunter right there. He's going to have to learn how to anchor down just a little bit to make those plays in the NFL game right there. So that is some of what you're going to see from Lee Hunter. Let's get to the next one, y'all. All right, so here we go. Here's the next one I want to show you. This game is the CFP. I believe it's the quarterfinals against Oregon, Texas Tech versus Oregon. And Lee Hunter set a CFP record with 6 tackles at the 0-and-1 technique. And he was just a complete run stopper. He really got the job done in this game. I'm just going to let it ride out. I'll provide my commentary on this one. Go ahead and check it out right here. He's in the 1 technique, sheds the center right there, makes the tackle right there, blows past the guard. Like I said, some of these you've already seen, but we're going to go over some more right there. Take a side step, gets around the guard and makes the tackle right here. And there you go, just going down the line, meeting that running back at an angle, tries the swim move, gets caught in the scrum and overcomes right there, right? It doesn't look pretty every time. Now he's in a 1 technique. Right there, anchors down and still able to make the play and allowing a short yardage gain right there. There you go, using those hands, kind of swims under and stays in the mix, stays in the fight. Good anchor right there and makes another play. This dude seemed to be dominant against Oregon right there. Oregon definitely got the win when it came down to it, but from what I remember, this was a defensive struggle from both teams until the end. And there you go, right? That's what you were getting from a guy like Lee Hunter, a guy who could really stop the run and really anchor down. Needs some help with the double team in some situations against elite offensive linemen, but hey, it's something to work on, and I think he would be a great addition for the Raiders in the 2nd round. Let me know what you guys think about Lee Hunter. Hey, hit it in the comments, man, and let me know what's going on, man. But that is it for the day 3 of Big Mike's Big 30, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
I hope you're watching right now, because then you're going to understand whoever get in my way, I'm a dog walk their ass.